Hi everyone, Joe here again, back with another video, and welcome to my series of videos where I am reviewing my journey so far with thyroid cancer. Now, the next video we're going to be taking a look at today is going to be my first radioactive iodine treatment, and this was back on the 29th of January 2017. And bear in mind, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer 3 months beforehand. So I went for 3 months with zero treatment and just waiting around, which was pretty stressful. Not to mention, during that time as well, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know the process. I hadn't met any of the medical team that were going to be looking after me really at this point. And I also found out that it spread to my lungs at this point already. So it was a very stressful time looking back at it, thinking, oh my god, I'm in so much trouble. But I was still told that the treatment would be the same. It's still the radioactive iodine, and the radioactive iodine has got a good success rate. You know, it's very, for someone my age, my thyroglobulin at the time was only in like 100 something, which is actually quite low. My current thyroglobulin, just so you know, is over 6,000. So, healthy range for someone without a thyroid whilst on thyroxine. Your thyroglobulin should be about 2 or 0. That's 0. 0's your number. That means you've got no thyroid tissue whatsoever, which is good. So, very different situation. Very, very different. And of course, I'm doing this reviewing my journey as part of Thyroid Cancer Awareness Month. So, if you haven't already, and you really should, check your neck. Go stand in front of a mirror, take your time, have a feel around here. You're feeling for any hard little lumps that move. Have a swallow. Have a feel. See if there's something there that maybe isn't there. Do both sides feel the same? Hopefully they do. That's what you're hoping for. That's the idea anyway. But yeah, important, check your neck. Obviously there are other cancers that you need to worry about as well out there, but I'm not going to load it on. But guys, check your balls. Girls, check your boobs. It's important. Alright, but yeah, check your neck. Thyroid Cancer Awareness Month. Let's get into reviewing this video, having a look back. I do this weird watch party thing. Look at this guy, so spotty, so greasy. I hate it. I'm just like, what was I doing? Also, what is this resolution of the video?
So, hello everybody.
What is it?
I am in hospital. So I'm here for my radioactive iodine treatment, which I've actually just taken. It's a small capsule, about this big. But I figured I'd give you guys a bit of a tour of the room, which is kind of home for the next 3 days, I guess. So, I'll look around.
I look at this and I think I should have either committed to the beard or not. I look good with the beard. I should have committed to the beard. I don't think you could have long hair, top knot, no beard. I think you have to have the beard if you're doing it. Really, like, you've got to go all out. So I'm really disappointed with myself. And I spoke to my wife earlier today. I was like, why did you let me get away with it? She was like, you're just really into it. It's like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't realise that this room that I'm in this is Mount Vernon. I didn't realise that it was actually the least favourite room, I should say, that to be in there, because it gets daylight all the time, and you think that's going to be great, but the room's just bright enough that it's just at the right angle, and it's winter, so you're getting the daylight come in through the window, and you're just like, oh god, it's so bright, and you can't see the TV, and you've got nothing to do in there.
The big, thick, heavy lead door. So obviously the idea behind that is that it keeps radiation in. That's a bin. I'm not allowed to use that bin. That bin is for staff only. That's my table. That's my desk. I've brought some movies with me. I'm going to have a massive, ridiculous movie marathon, which Kim would normally appreciate, which is Rocky, and also all Alien films.
My 2 favourite movie franchises, not of all time, but 2 of my favourite movie franchises, because Star Wars is in there too.
Yes, including Alien Resurrection, even though it's turd. So I've got like a bunch of sweets and stuff. Lemon sweets apparently are the thing to have. They help with any kind of build-up of radioactive iodine in your saliva glands. So apparently that's where it can collect and it'd be uncomfortable. So some people find them handy to use, but that's only after 24 hours. So I've got a while to go before I'm allowed to have any of them. Well, I can have them whenever I like, but I should save them. So they've got a TV, which is obviously great. DVD player as well, because you know DVDs, that's great. So my miniature fridge. Now, classic British person being sick. I have some grapes.
Now, I didn't know this isn't a worldwide universal thing. To me, if you're sick or if you're in a hospital, people bring you grapes. They bring you grapes. I made a joke about it once with Kim, and she was just like, "What do you mean?" And suddenly I realised our cultural differences between America and the UK. It's amazing that we've stayed married for 8 years when the differences are clearly so vast that you don't bring grapes to people in American hospitals. It's crazy. Madness.
It's in there, which again Kim doesn't really understand. Bed, classic hospital bed, chair. Over here we have my emergency panic buttons in case, I don't know, I feel like I'm turning into the Hulk. And this is my bathroom. If the lights go on, there we go. Focus. Toilet, that's my bin. I'm allowed to use this bin. No one else is, only me. Sink, wash bag, shower, and mirror. It's me. So I'm wearing sportswear.
I'm wearing sportswear. Good for you, Joe. I'm probably not going to spend ages talking about all of this because we're 2 minutes in the video and I've been talking for 7 minutes already. This is bad. The state of the rooms were disgusting. They're old, just because they're old. Now they were clean. They smelt clean. You know they're disinfected between people, and the people come in to do it. They're going to be wearing protective gear because you've got people in here who are radioactive, or your fluids become radioactive when you've had radioactive iodine. So your pee, your tears, your saliva, all radioactive, and you need to make sure you shower regularly to get rid of it. So they're going to come in, they're going to clean it, but the staining and the rooms were pretty miserable. Like one was green and one was pink. I'd stayed in both rooms, but they have now actually been done up by the Butterfly Thyroid Trust. Kate over there took my recommendation when I said, please, you've got to go and sort them out, they look awful. So now they've got these much nicer print on and on the walls, kind of natural, relaxing prints of plants and stuff like that to help the atmosphere a bit, and honestly it makes a difference.
And stuff, because I wasn't sure what I'm allowed to leave with, take home with me, and all that kind of stuff. Everything has to come home with me, so they'd rather I didn't leave it at all. So yeah, it's going to be a really boring few days, I guess. I'm waiting on them to bring me some lunch, which will be in about 10 minutes, I think. I can't remember what I'm having. I'm still on a limited diet until tomorrow, so that's like minimal dairy, no fish. But I can have milk and coffee if I want. But anyone who knows me, who sees me drink coffee, I have cappuccino or have black coffee, just as it is. So yeah, fun times ahead. I'll obviously do updates as things happen, but as things go, I'm going to be starting to radiate beta and beta and gamma radiation, which is pretty cool. So I might turn into the Hulk, I might not, probably not. But by the time everyone watches this, everyone will know whether or not I've turned into the Hulk. But anyway, catch you guys later.
The boredom.
So it's lunchtime, and on the menu we have that's carrot and coriander soup with a bread roll, and I have something else coming in a minute as well. I can't remember what it is, but they said it was on its way. So when that arrives, I will obviously show you guys what it is. I think I can remember. No. I know I have minced lamb tonight. I know that much. But yeah, fun times. Time to eat.
I've reported this ad. It's another fucking chiropractor from America who claims to know how to heal people's thyroids naturally through changing your diet. You can't do it. Go see an endocrinologist. I can't stand it at all. But the food that I had, I'll quickly mention, was awful. Absolutely awful. I can't. Some of it, the carrot and coriander soup tasted like indigestion.
Okay, so the main came, and it's steak and mushroom pie. Kind of. So, that's it.
Look at
That broccoli, though.
Yeah.
It's grey. One thing I do like is that these little pots of juice, they make me feel like a giant. Fun times. Chances are I'm going to go literally, not figuratively, literally insane by the end of the 3 days. But it'll be fine, because I'll be home with less cancer than I've got now. Positive. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to eat this delicious feast. I passed on the dessert options because they were crap. They did offer me trifle, but I can't have trifle because of the dairy, I guess. But yeah, I turned down all of the stuff that I don't want and can't have. But yeah, I'm going to eat my delicious feast, drink my little juice cups, and probably have a nap after, because I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning, which I know doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm stressed. So yeah, I will give you an update later on. So it's 5 PM on hospital day 1, and dinner time. So
oh no, it's gonna be bad.
Delightful. That's ham and pea soup.
Why did I order the soup? So I learnt from my second time I went in for radioactive iodine. I learnt you don't order the soup. You do not order the soup. It's bad.
So ham and pea soup. And then for my main, minced lamb with peas and mash. So that's going to be absolutely delightful. And then once I've eaten that, I'm going to have a shower and put a film on and begin possibly my Rocky Aliens marathon. Yeah, and try and get some sleep tonight, which would be quite interesting.
Look at that double chin. Fucking double chin.
Thing, I guess. It's pretty loud during the day. I tried to have a nap. Didn't go so well. But yeah, see how that goes. Okay, so it's about 10:20, and this is my second morning.
My poor angry skin again. Ugh.
In hospital. I had a visit from the nuclear medicine department today, and they came and they told me how much radiation I have lost already. Apparently you start off around about 3,600 sieverts, and then I am down to 1,092, which is pretty good. So I need to be under 800 sieverts to be able to go home. So that's looking pretty good for tomorrow, which is quite nice because I can't like to get.
I'm saying sieverts, it might be microsieverts instead. I think that's what it was. But I remember I had the larger dose of radioactive iodine. I think it was 5.5 gigabecquerels of radioactive iodine.
Get home. So yeah, it's all kind of pretty boring, if I'm honest. I mean, there's a lot of keeping yourself occupied, but I thought they had Wi-Fi. It's awful Wi-Fi, like really bad. But you know, I've had like 3 showers now, and trying to keep myself clean and keep constantly washing the radiation off my skin. Basically, I've been drinking lots of water. I've had about 3 litres of water already, and they want me to keep drinking more. All that kind of stuff, really. I can't remember what I've ordered for lunch. I had some toast for breakfast. Super exciting. But yeah, for lunch I can't remember what I had. I definitely got some soup, and I think pasta. so that'll be alright. The desserts and stuff are crap. No chocolate in the desserts at all, which is a big surprise. I was expecting at least one chocolatey dessert, but hey, there you go. It's hospital food. It's not meant to be great, is it? It's not fine dining. So yeah, it's looking good for coming home tomorrow. I am starting to get some pain here, like, or discomfort, I guess, which is down to the fact that I can basically feel my thyroid dying, or what's left of it. Because obviously I've had it all removed, but that's only some of it really, because they can't take all of it out because the delicate structure's in the neck. So this is the reason why you have the radioactive iodine treatment to kill it all off. So yeah, I can actually feel it dying, which is pretty weird. I guess that's what.
I couldn't. That isn't what I was feeling. It's inflammation at that point, and it did feel like it was bruising. It felt like bruising. As someone who's been punched in the neck before, it's a weird thing. But yeah, I've been punched anywhere and everywhere you could possibly imagine being a martial artist or being an ex-martial artist. But yeah, it felt very, very tender at there. Like swallowing was starting to hurt, and that was stiff. It felt stiff, like that muscular ache that you get when you've overused something. And it could be as simple as I'm doing a lot of talking here that I hadn't done, and I'd still not particularly a huge amount of time since my surgery. When you think about it, at least the second surgery anyway. There'll still be some scar tissue that will be tight in there. So talking still needs to help loosen it up and kind of break some of that down.
What's happening? But yeah, interesting times ahead. But I'm going to chill out and mess around on my computer and see what happens today, I guess. Probably watch some movies again, and yeah, I will keep you guys updated as the day goes on. Okay, lunchtime. I've been watching Rocky this morning, because why not? So let's have a look to see what we've got.
What a surprise. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, that's chicken pasta with mixed vegetables, and afterwards I've got some apple pie. Which
that's not apple pie.
Bit of apple pie. It's not pastry on top. But there you go.
Oh, and I'm having to eat off paper plates and
yeah,
plastic
so
knives and forks.
A lot of that, a lot of food, I guess. I'm actually pretty hungry, to be fair. I'm still drinking lots of water. I think that's possibly why I'm hungry, is because it's just keeping everything moving, keeping everything going. Also, boredom's a big thing. But yeah, I'm gonna eat my lunch. Finish watching Rocky. They're on the final fight, which the main event. So yeah, things are looking good for coming home tomorrow, which is nice. But then that creates a whole new world of other issues I have to deal with once I'm home. But hey, there you go, right?
The coming home thing, I'll mention, it was when I came home, I could only spend 15 minutes a day within 2 meters of my wife. So that meant that I couldn't sleep on the bed. And the reason why I couldn't sleep on the bed, or in the bed, is because it's a small studio flat and I'm emitting gamma radiation. And gamma radiation does not care about walls. Gamma radiation does not care about walls between flats. Doesn't give a crap about breeze blocks. Go straight through it. So because of that, I had to sleep on a mattress. Well, I think it was a mattress on the floor. We did like a futon mattress on the floor of our living space, so that because that was the only place I could be that was far away enough from, guaranteed to be far away enough from everybody. Also, at the time, Clive was staying in a catering, because Clive used to sleep between my legs, and I didn't want to damage him through radiation and it being given off. Like I used to wake up and Clive would be asleep between my legs or on, by my head and stuff. So had to be careful there. Although apparently they understand radioactive iodine even more now, where they don't have to treat animals as quite the same way. So it's interesting.
So,
how things change.
Mealtime, and today we have, there you go, that is shepherd's pie with green beans, which actually is by far not the worst meal that I've had so far. And I also have some sticky toffee pudding for after, but without custard or ice cream. Hooray. But yeah, so I watched Rocky earlier, as I said. I finished watching it, had a nap, because I had a banging headache, which is nothing to do with radiation whatsoever. It's just due to the fact that this room has sunlight all day long, and it's like at that angle, you know, where it's just like in your eyes all the time. So yeah, overall I'm feeling pretty good. They keep asking me if I've had bowel movements, which is lovely. Yes. And
brilliant. It's like, had bowel movements. You've bowel movements. Yes. Which that caused I know for a fact that caused one of the days quite a big drop in the amount of radiation I was giving off, because otherwise it sits in your bowel, and they don't want the radioactive iodine to be sat in your bowel, because if it's in your bowel, it means it hasn't been absorbed by that point. Simple as that. If it's in your large intestines, it's not been absorbed. Anything that goes through you, it kind of, things get pulled out and then pushed back in. So I had absorbed by this point as much of the radioactive iodine as I was going to, but they want you to get it out so that they can then know what your restriction should be when you go home.
And yeah, so I am looking forward very much to going home tomorrow and being in my own flat and being able to actually see my wife and talk to her in person, which would be quite nice. Side note, they actually have a genuine dinner bell when dinner's here. They actually like go ding 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 ding, so you know dinner's here, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, I've been having to like drink my weight in water, which I've been doing, and also I have to put all of my used plastic cutlery, because it's like we give you one decent set of cutlery. It's like, well, you don't give me anything that needs actual real decent cutlery. Most dinners can be eaten with only a fork, so that's what I've been doing. So I've been putting all that in a bin in the bathroom, because that's my bin and that's their bin over there by the door. Don't know if you can see it behind me. There you go. But yeah, so
you notice the clock? That was a clock, by the way. I took the clock off the wall and took the battery out whilst I was there because of the ticking. Because it was like being in a prison cell and time was just ticking away. And me hearing the ticking was driving me insane. It was just horrible. Just tick, tick, tick. And for some reason it was really loud. And also that beeping you can hear. That beeping that you hear there, that was all night, all day, all the time. Because actually there's a ward, you're at the end of a ward in Mount Vernon, and there are people having treatment. It's a day ward down at the other end, so people will have chemotherapy down there, or if they have to have any treatments and stuff, they are having them whilst I'm down at this end. And they tell me off for closing the door when I just want to close the door and be left alone, because they want to come by and see if you're alright.
But the rest of this evening is going to be made up by probably playing Hungry Shark Evolution, and I'm going to be watching Aliens, because I watched Alien last night, or Aliens tonight. But yeah, and then hopefully it sounds like I should be able to have lunch tomorrow before I go home, which would be quite nice. But they said they'll be around about. I'm really looking forward to the possibility of going home, like a lot. I've done well to not go insane, I guess. But hey, there you go.
Another ad. All that YouTube money.
It is currently breakfast time, which is around about 8:30 in the morning. And I'm having some toast. And I did have a choice, and I did choose toast. So hopefully today is the day that I get to go home. And if I've passed enough radiation, then, or enough radioactive material, then I will be good to go. I am feeling some side effects, as I said, which is the pain here. That's kind of got a little bit achy. I say it's achy more than pain. So that's happening. But yeah, I'm going to eat my breakfast, have a shower. I have luckily opened my bowels this morning, which is the posh word for have a crap. And yeah, so with that, because apparently that's where a lot of the radiation sits in your guts if you're not regular. So yeah, so fingers crossed when they come and check me, which will probably be in about, I don't know, half an hour or so. They kind of scan me to see how many, it's millisieverts, not sieverts. If
Millisieverts, there you go.
I'd be dead. So yeah, 3,600 millisieverts is what I started off at. Then it was so it was 1,092 yesterday morning, and then this morning hopefully it needs to be under 800, and then I can go home. So yeah, fingers crossed. I will obviously keep everyone updated. Okay, so good news.
Oh God, why do I look so much worse?
My scan this morning, they kind of like run this thing up and down you, and to find out how much radiation you got left.
That thing, by the way, is a Geiger counter.
And I am currently only giving off 316 microsieverts. Micro, not milli.
So it's micro, not milli.
And that's
oh my God.
And yes, that means under 800 was the measurement to be able to go home. So yeah, I get to go home, which is lovely. So my dad is on the way to pick me up. I've also had a gamma camera scan, which took about an hour, which means you lie down this thing, and it's like about the size of a room, and a big room at that. And this machine moves back and forth, well, over across you from top to toe, and it kind of scans to see where the radioiodine has collected inside your body. But yeah, that's done, so I'm free to go. Yes. So I get to go home. So I need to put some people clothes on, gather myself up, and get out of here, which is great.
Oh, and that was it. That was me. That was me going, oh no, stop. So yeah, that was me just doing that. Yeah, bye. Did I ask anyone to like and subscribe? What's wrong with me? But yeah, that was pretty much radioactive iodine. That was the experience. The food was so much worse the second and third time I had it. Much worse. I think someone compared the look of it was, oh, is that lime scale in gravy? With one of the times. So the food was bad. Looking back at it, and that was when treatment was working. So it was all good. I didn't mind doing it. It was fine. But yeah, looking back at myself, oh, I was a chunky boy. Definitely a chunky boy. That was me like still eating like I was going to the gym every day of the week, but I wasn't. So I looked like I'm like, oh yeah, I go to the gym all the time. I can eat whatever I want, eat all this stuff. I'm having dessert 3 times a day. Idiot. Right, I have no more to say about that because that was really boring. And on reflection, I think doing these little fact bits and delivering information of what's happening is far more interesting than this is me eating some food in hospital. Because nothing happens. I could have done one day and that would have been enough, really. And also, I'm so glad I know how to edit videos now and actually use correct resolutions and bit rates and stuff, because I look back at that and I'm like, that was awful quality. And I still have the camera, and I know for a fact the camera is better than that quality of video I used to render at whatever some crap resolution was. Right, calling time for today's video. Who knows what we'll review next? I'm sure it will be something that involves some bad news, because there's a big gap. There's kind of big gaps now where I don't record anything because nothing's happening, because thyroid cancer takes a long time for you to really settle into any form of a routine about what's going on. There's 3-month gaps before anything happens with scans, or even longer than that, 4-month gaps where you have the radioactive iodine. So I don't think the next video is until something much later. But right, as usual, like, subscribe, share. People might find it interesting. Boy, I hope they do, because this is a long video and it's far too long. So if you've made it this far and you want to know what to type in the comments section, radioactive. And I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.